I'm Miss Liz from the reality show, The Life with Liz. Last week, when I broadcast my webisode, I spoke to you about my affinity for Barbara Hutton and the Woolworths, and of course, I showed off that spectacular Pasha ring recreation that I had made as a tribute to Barbara Hutton. Well, this week I'm going to talk to you about yet another icon. And for me, personally, probably the most influential public figure out there in the 20th century. This webisode is dedicated to Elizabeth Taylor. As you can probably see, I'm wearing major jewels, and they are all in honor of Elizabeth Taylor. I, unfortunately, did not have $10 million to go to Bulgari and have them sell me her spectacular emerald and diamond suite, which I saw in person at the Christie's jewelry auction. So I had to do the next best thing. I had to go to Kenny J. Lane and have this necklace custom made with the green cabochon stones. It is not identical to the Bulgari necklace Elizabeth had, but it's kind of close. What's even closer than that is the Krupp ring, the Krupp diamond that Richard Burton lovingly gave to her as a very special present that she wore every single day of her life until the end of her life. But I'll get back to that in just a minute. Elizabeth Taylor, just the name for me alone evokes so many memories, and I would probably need 20 of these videos to actually cover all of the twists and turns that that woman really did have upon impacting my life. She was the very first movie star when I was a preteen and really trying to find my way and find my identity and find who I was from inside. I knew how I appeared on the outside and the way that I was born, but that wasn't the way that I felt on the inside. Elizabeth Taylor, and having her image to look up to, having her beauty and having her life as a template, helped me to decide how I wanted to live my own. And I've taken more tips just from the pages of her own life playbook than I have from anybody else. And I do feel I'm a combination of many, many different influences, but hers is the strongest. So, as a tribute to her, I have, unlike the Lana Turner collection, which I debuted a few weeks ago, I have not been fortunate enough to actually possess any of the possessions of Miss Taylor. I came close, but I still don't have anything. So, I do the next best thing. If I cannot own myself, I'll recreate. I'm very good at that. Starting with the ring. Yes, this is an exact duplicate of the famous Krupp diamond. So, once again, I had to use the very talented services of, oh my god, I forgot his name. Oh, this is terrible. Scott Susher. Don't kill me, Scott. I'm so sorry. I did forget his name. Scott Susher. He is really, truly a man with an eye and a very gifted set of skills, because he was able to obtain the original GIA, for those who don't know, that Gemological Institute report and of America. And he got the report and was able to take a rough cubic and duplicate the exact cuts, a la the Pasha, and this is what we came up with. I just got it mounted last week, and it just came from the jeweler. I'm extremely pleased with it. It is the Krupp. It is the exact same dimensions. The deep Asher cuts are exactly where they were on the original that belonged to Miss Taylor. Before that, to Vera Krupp, which is where the name comes from. 33.19 carats, and the mounting is even carried out faithfully to the original. So I'm extremely pleased with that. Something else that I'd read about, and was, as when I was growing up, legendary almost as her diamonds, if she wasn't buying, or wasn't having bought for her, rocks, it was skins. She had a vast collection of furs. This is the Life magazine from June 1970. She's on the cover with Richard Burton. And if you can't see it, the title says, Burton buys Liz the world's most expensive coat. It was actually a mink coat. The name of the coat is the Kojah. The Kojah minks were much ballyhooed at the time they came out. They were only around, I think, for about 2 years. There really isn't much information on them. But the Kojah minks, here's all they were. There was a large mink variant that dwelled in Canada, and somebody captured it and brought it to America and forced it to breed with the American version of minks. The Canadian version was 3 times the size of the US versions, and the hair was twice as long, and that's what they wanted, was the hair, because it resembled Russian sable. When these coats came out, they were astronomically priced. I mean, we're talking the coat that Richard Burton bought Elizabeth Taylor that she's wearing on the cover, and there's a big write-up on this. He commissioned Neiman Marcus to make the coat for her. It cost $125,000 in 1970. Can you imagine? $125,000 for a coat in 1970. And they were all $125,000, $150,000 for a full-length Kojah Mink coat. So, I read about these growing up and was just fascinated by them. Little did I know it would take 40 years before well, not that long, but a long time, before I would find one myself. And when I saw it on eBay, I don't mind telling you, I said I have to have it. So, since I could not get the original Kojah, and believe me, I contacted the estate of Elizabeth Taylor, and they said, no, the coats are not going up for sale. I was fortunate enough to find this on eBay, and it was a rare find indeed. This, my darlings, is a Kojah Mink coat. It is beautiful, and it is from the same era, and exactly the same color as Elizabeth's. It is simply magnificent, really. I will show it to you. It has the long hair. It can pass for sable. It's 40 years old, but it's extremely well preserved. And the lining, as you can see, is just spectacular. And here, if you look below, is the label saying, I don't know if you can see that, saying Kojah Mink coat. And it is extremely warm, and it is extremely beautiful. I just love these furs. So, this is my little tribute to Miss Taylor, and I have so much more to share with you. I think during the next episode I may talk once again of Liz, and probably I will touch on my wonderful experience of being at the Christie's Jewelry Auction in 2011. What an experience that was. Yes, I'll save it for next time. So until next time, thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you for admiring my personal tributes to Miss Taylor. And don't forget, every single week a new episode comes out, The Life with Liz. Tune in, and thank you for watching. Good night.